So with the official launch of Marvel Rivals only being a few days away on December 6th, I figured now would be a good time to go over all the new characters that weren't previously playable during the alpha and beta test coming to the game at launch. Now let me preface this by saying not all characters have had their abilities and gameplay mechanics revealed yet. There have been some that have been stated to be in the game that weren't previously known, but none of their gameplay features have been announced. We'll get those out of the way first, and those are Cloak and Dagger and Wolverine. These two are going to be in the game at launch, but as of recording this video on December 3rd at 1:14 a.m., it hasn't been revealed what their gameplay features and gameplay loops will be like at this time. With that out of the way, let's get into our first new character.
No way to miss now.
Black Widow is going to be a duelist. If you've played Overwatch, Black Widow is looking to be the Widowmaker equivalent for this game. Her sniper can one-shot people to the head, and it seems like a devastating choice for anybody who's confident enough to consistently hit their headshots. She also has a kick where she can send people back if they get in too close on her, and she can also grapple up towards them after she kicks them, and pull out batons to get a quick finish for the kill. She also seems to have a sprint on her left shift that just lets her have some type of movement ability. Her ultimate, you actually go into first person and you shoot what seems to be a slow field where any enemies caught in it are substantially slowed down, making it easier to hit your headshots. Let's move on to the next character. Hawkeye will be a duelist. So Hawkeye is another sniper instead of Marvel Rivals, and he's the equivalent of Hanzo to Overwatch. He seems to be able to also one-shot headshot to the head, which is very powerful in a hero shooter. In this clip, he shoots what looks to be like a wind tunnel on his arrow that does continuous damage to anybody he hits. It's hard to tell exactly what this does off this footage, but to me that's what I got from it. He also seems to have two firing modes. One is a normal arrow that can just one-shot people to the head or hit people in the body for a two-shot. But he also has explosive arrows that seem to do AoE damage. The next clip is kind of confusing for me because he seems to have some type of knockback sword ability, but at the same time in this clip it looks like he deflects something. I'm not exactly sure how this works, all I know for sure is that it seems to have a knockback. His ultimate, from what I can gather from this clip, seems like he slows down time and it allows him to hit decoys of people that they leave behind. Again, I'm not entirely sure how this works. It also looks like his arrow firing speed speeds up a little bit, but again, I'm not entirely sure.
I bring Khonshu's vengeance!
Moonknight is going to be a duelist. So Moonknight has a traversal ability that lets him glide around the map, and he also seems to have a really strong melee ability where he pulls out some batons and he can get up close and personal with people. He also has a grappling hook to get around faster. His primary fire seems to be a fan blade type thing. I would equate this to Genji's primary fire from Overwatch. Not the one where it's a fan, but the one where he throws 3 shurikens. It looks like he has the tether here that he can throw down and tether enemies to a location if he wants to. It also looks like he throws an AoE explosion here that does a little bit of damage. And it seems that he can throw his blades at the middle of the tether to do damage to people inside of it. His ult looks to be like he marks an area and anybody inside of the area gets rained down on by ghosts coming from the sky. It kind of reminds me of Pharah's ult from Overwatch. Squirrel Girl will be a duelist. Squirrel Girl's primary fire is a slingshot that can bounce off walls and damage people. Her first ability is an acorn that she throws at that can stun people for a certain amount of time. She has a leap she can activate for some maneuverability, and her E kind of looks like what Hanzo's arrow is right now, where he shoots a bunch of arrows really fast. Her ultimate is a ball that she sends out that rolls around, bouncing off walls, hitting people and killing them.
The Dragon Unleashed!
He will also be a duelist. So firstly, Iron Fist seems to have a lot of movement mechanics. He starts off wall running and then has 3 double jumps that are one of his abilities. So here, to me, it looks like he's deflecting something from Magneto. Then he follows up with a kick that looks like it has a bit of knockback. It's then revealed that he also has a healing ability. This is going to be really helpful for melee heroes. His ultimate is kind of confusing to me. Looks like he pops an ability where his hits do a lot more damage and he's a little bit faster, but I can't tell if he's self-healing or reflecting here. You guys let me know what you think. Psylocke will be a duelist. So for Psylocke, there's not really a lot to go off of for her kit. We can see her using some movement abilities here like a little dash and a teleport, but other than that, the only other thing we have to go off of is her ultimate, which kind of looks like Genji's Dragon Blade. So the last two kind of go together, and that's Bucky and Captain America. From the trailer, we can see that Bucky has a grappling hook where he can pull people in, and he can dash towards people. His ultimate seems to be a ground slam that resets if you get a kill. I'm unsure how this works, if it's just limited use or you get it back, but I guess we'll see in the game. The last hero will be Captain America, and he seems like a really fun character to play. He's going to be a tank in this game. His shield seems like Genji's Reflect from Overwatch, where it can pretty much reflect anything, and his shield bounces between enemies and hits multiple people. He's going to be a tank, and Bucky will be a duelist. So, are you guys excited for Marvel Rivals? And if you are, comment down below who you're most excited to try out. I'll see you guys in a few days on the game. Peace out.